Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesdays with Wendy, where we make small business ownership less stressful, one step at a time. Today, we're starting a new series on mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And you're probably wondering why an accountant would talk about mental health and not taxes and bookkeeping. Well, we'll get to that. If this is the first time you're ever tuning in, my name is Wendy Kane. I'm the owner of Kane Accounting and Financial Coaching. I do bookkeeping and payroll for independent contractors and small businesses so that you can have peace at tax time and throughout the rest of the year. Okay, so question. Why would an accountant talk about mental health? I mean, normally we've talked about withholding, we've talked about tax preparers. Why mental health? Well, not only is May Mental Health Awareness Month, but in addition to being an accountant, just like you, I am a small business owner. As of April, I've been in business for 9 years. And so I have learned a few things myself along the way. And I wanted to pass that along to you for some tips. But first, I just want you to know that I see you. I see you working hard. I see you sitting there by yourself in an office, maybe in some co working space, maybe in your house, working hard to get that work done. I see you worried about taxes. How am I going to pay taxes? There's no taxes coming out of my check this time. It's all up to me. How do I pay them? Where do I pay them? When do I pay them? How much do I pay? Am I going to owe? I see you wondering if you can even make enough money to support your family at this. I mean, some months are great. The checks are just rolling in. Other months are like crickets, and no one seems to even know your name. I see you, and I want you to know I am you. I have been you, and I'm here to give you some tips to help out. So, the first tip I have found is to set boundaries. Set boundaries on your time. Whenever I leave my office for the day, now I have a laptop, I take it home with me, but I close down my work email and I do not look at it until the next morning. When I'm home, I want to be home. When I'm at work, I want to be fully at work. But I have learned even if I don't reply to emails at night, if I look at them and see, some email that someone sent me or a reply or something, my brain just starts going. It starts thinking, okay, okay, and then tomorrow I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to tell them this and make sure they're doing that. And it just goes on and I start working even though I'm not at work. And I don't sleep well those nights either. So I have learned not to look at my work email. Once I'm home, I'm home. I put a strict boundary on that so that I don't stress myself out or end up working all hours of the day and night. That is a huge problem with small business owners, entrepreneurs, and 1099 contractors because in our connected age with the internet and laptops, I mean, we can work anytime from anywhere. So if you want to actually leave work and be off work, you have to set that boundary. You have to set a time and say, all right, at this time, I'm done. I will not work again until this next time. Another tip that I have learned and kind of ties into what I do is to develop a spending plan. Some people call it a budget, but if you don't like that word, then don't call it a budget. Call it something else. I've got a friend who calls it a money action plan. Think of it as a spending plan. You need to look at the money you do have coming in every month and figure out where it needs to go. And then the next month you do the same thing. And there's some tricky things about budgeting for a 1099 contractor income, and we can talk about that in a later video. But even if you sit down, it doesn't have to be on a spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be complicated. Doesn't have to involve a lot of math. You just need to write down what amounts are coming in and what amounts you have to pay in your business and then also in your personal side so that you will have some control over the money and it won't just be, uh, you know, The month will end and you'll wonder where all the money went. Along those same lines is to figure out how to pay yourself. Now, if you're a 1099 contractor and you're a single member LLC, you're going to pay yourself by just taking a draw. You just transfer money from your business account to your personal. If you are an S Corp owner, you're going to have to be on payroll to be in compliance with the IRS. And that's a little easier to budget because then every month you do get a paycheck like a regular job. You have the business you and the personal you, and they're separate on paper, even though we know it's all you. So um but you want to take that money from your paycheck if you're an S corp owner, the paycheck, and then budget in your personal life as well, so that you're not constantly pulling money from the business to pay personal expenses that, oops, you're not paying yourself enough, so you don't have enough money to cover those expenses, because that creates a lot of stress and a lot more work bookkeeping wise, and it can cause a lot of confusion. And lastly, in addition to talking about boundaries, I want to say take some time for you. It is too easy to work almost 24/7 in this type of business situation. When you're a contractor and people want stuff from you all hours of the day and night. I know a lot of my clients, the work that I need, the information I need from them is them working on their business, not in their business. And so a lot of people email me after 5 o'clock on the weekends, when they have downtime, because otherwise they're busy doing their job, serving their clients. And so if I were to hop on and try and look at my email every evening, every weekend, I would never get a break. So take time for you. Don't be afraid to set some boundaries on your time. Put on out of office if you feel really bad about it, and people will know, hey, and you don't have to tell them you're taking a break. Just say, out of the office right now. I mean, there's got to be some perks to this job, right? Because while I see you struggling with all that, I also see you being able to pick your kids up from school. I see you being able to take family members to the doctor during the day. I see you being able to do some awesome work for some great clients in maybe a shorter amount of time than if you had a 9 to 5, 40-hour a week corporate job. I see you and I am you, and I love this kind of work. But if you're not careful, it can become stressful. And we want it to be a blessing. We don't want it to be a curse. So that is the Wednesday with Wendy for this week. I want you to know that no one is born knowing how to do this, and it is definitely not taught in school. If you're feeling lost and overwhelmed, you are not alone. That's why I'm here to help you. If you found this helpful, please like this post, follow me on Facebook, head to my website to sign up for my newsletter, and keep looking every Wednesday for another video to help make small business ownership less stressful. Y'all have a good day.